It's the Tony Rose Morning Show, Sam 100.7, and I am so excited this Friday. It's opening, and I'm a geek for the Planet of the Apes movies and TV shows from back in the day, and I cannot wait for the new movie, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and it's an honor to have the director of the movie, Rupert Wyatt, on. Rupert, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Tony. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I know you got to be excited just counting the days and minutes down to this weekend when the movie opens up. Yeah. What's the vibe right now?
It seems very good. I'm actually in New York at the moment. We're starting our whole road show, as it were, and it's the reaction seems to be great, which is a huge relief when you've spent 2 years working on something.
Well, I know this is a new twist to the movies that the original Planet of the Apes series that folks know from back in the day. These are not humans dressed up in ape outfits here. This is high tech stuff, rivaling Avatar or better than Avatar, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a sort of interestingly a kind of natural evolution on from Avatar and Lord of the Rings in terms of performance capture technology. What we've done is we made the choice very early on when we were making the film not to use live apes to tell the story and instead to use this technology that allows actors to perform the part and perform the character.
Right.
You got to think about it in terms of sort of like digital prosthetics, digital makeup,
right.
And that's basically what it is. And it really liberates the actor to actually perform the role and not have to worry about all the kind of layers of makeup and prosthetics and things.
But, speaking of actors, though, holy cow, what a loaded cast. You got, Oscar nominees. You got James Franco, and right off of 127 hours, he comes right to you. What was it like hooking up with him on this? How did that come about?
Well, I went to him first. I mean, I was lucky in many ways because it doesn't always happen, but I was very lucky that I had my first choice on pretty much all the parts, actually, for this film. So, I think that's testament to the script, I guess. I wanted to get a really good character actor, somebody who's going to be able to make the film believable. And James is one of those people. When you work with him, he won't do something if he doesn't believe in it.
Right.
And I think you can see that when you watch something like 127 hours. He's very believable. He's very plausible, and he happens to look like a movie star. So it's great.
Well, now, okay, were you a fan of the original series, the original Planet of the Apes, the original 5 movies, and that TV show that I think a lot of people forgot about? Were you a fan of that growing up, or did you use anything we see in those original movies to bring it full circle as we kind of start this series over again with Rise here?
Well, the TV show, I didn't know. We didn't have it in England.
But it was terrible. Believe me, you didn't miss anything. Trust me.
Okay. Yeah, I gather it was a bit short-lived. The original film I was very, very aware of, and it was one of the first films I think I ever saw. And funnily enough, the last film I made, which was a very small independent movie back in England, paid homage to the ending of the original film. So I loved it, and it was sort of my Star Wars, I guess. But
right.
But I watched the sequels. I used to live in New York, and
right.
I was very unemployed, and so I could do these sort of things. But I basically rented all of them one day and watched all of them back to back.
Right.
A few years back, when I got this job, when I became part of this film, I certainly went back and revisited all of them, and including the Tim Burton version, we do pay. I mean, we certainly pay our respects to those films, and we are part of the mythology. But we're the beginning. That's what's
right.
really exciting. We're the whole new sort of origin story. Ironically, seeing as we're telling the story of the origin of a species, a whole new species of ape that becomes highly evolved.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the fact that you guys are starting, at the beginning, because I know a lot of folks when they watch Planet of the Apes and some of the sequels that, they knew about this character named Caesar, but we didn't know the backstory of Caesar. And now we're actually going to learn Caesar from the beginning and how it comes about. Kind of set this movie up for the folks when they go in. What's the story going to tell us?
Well, if you think of it like Spartacus, it's very much similar to, it's the idea of a revolution, a rebellion, and an uprising, but one that takes place not just across the whole Roman Empire, and the Roman Empire being us.
Right.
It's just a small set in San Francisco. So it's the idea of a kind of very ragtag band of apes that have all been kind of cast out of society, and you have like ex-NASA chimps and ex-circus orangutans, and this unwanted chimpanzee whose name is Caesar.
Right.
Who's grown up in a domestic household, who's sort of, become very much part of our world, and he thinks like us, he eats like us, he thinks himself to be more human than chimpanzee.
Right.
And he's inherited the genes of his mother, and by that I mean his mother was a laboratory chimp who's been experimented upon, and she had become rapidly more evolved and more intelligent than many other chimps, and he's inherited that intelligence. And so when he's thrown out of our world and into a world that's, where he's chucked in with his own species, they turn their back on him as well because he's not like them. So it's kind of like a Frankenstein story.
Right.
And from that point on, he realizes he has to make a choice. Is he more human or is he more ape? And should he be with his own kind or should he try and be more like us? And that's what sort of forms, I guess, the beginnings of the revolution. At what stage are they all going to basically say enough? We don't belong in this prison. We don't belong in your world. We want to actually be part of a more natural world. And that's what then takes us to the end of our movie, and it becomes a very spectacular kind of idea of a revolution that happens within the city of San Francisco.
I can't wait for it. It's this weekend, right? It's out this Friday night, right? I guess.
Yeah, this Friday, I gather. Yeah.
Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on, hanging out with us. I know it's a busy week for you. I'm a big fan of, like I said, this whole genre, and like I said, I can't wait to see your interpretation of Rise of the Planet of the Apes. People are going to have fun with it. Hey, continued best of luck. Would you want to come back and do a few more of those? You think, if this goes good? What do you think?
Yeah. If they ask me. I think everyone's keeping their fingers crossed that this will be a great success, and I think we all feel it will. So I hope at that point, we'll be able to get going on the next one.
It's an honor, Rupert. Appreciate it so much. Continue best of luck, buddy. Okay.
Thank you so much. All the best.
There you go, Rupert Wyatt. Everybody, he's the director of the new movie.